Throughout the ages, history has been written, rewritten, and sometimes completely fabricated. Welcome to Premeditated History, where fact and fiction intertwine, and the untold tales of the past come to life in ways you've never imagined. Here, we blur the lines between what happened and what could have been. Stories crafted to challenge your beliefs, tickle your curiosity, and perhaps make you question everything you thought you knew. This is the place where the past meets the impossible. This is Premeditated History.
The year was 1487, and the age of exploration was in full bloom. Bartolomeu Dias, a man of vision and determination, embarked on a mission that would change the course of history. Tasked by King John II of Portugal to discover a trade route to India by navigating around the southern tip of Africa, Dias and his crew set sail into the unknown, driven by ambition and a desire to expand their nation's reach. According to historical accounts, Dias' expedition consisted of 3 ships: the São Cristóvão, commanded by Dias himself, the São Pantaleo, under the command of his subordinate, and a supply ship captained by João Infante. Historical records indicate that the supply ship was left behind in Angola to ensure provisions for their return. However, recent discoveries from hidden journals have revealed a different story. The journals were found hidden in a secret compartment of a centuries-old farmhouse located near the coastal cliffs of Sagres, a region long associated with Portugal's seafaring legacy. The discovery came during renovations of the property, which once belonged to an unassuming sailor's family who had ties to Dias' crew. The chest, concealed behind a false wall, contained weathered maps, navigational tools, and Dias' handwritten accounts. Remarkably, the documents had been preserved by the dry and stable environment, hinting that Dias himself may have entrusted the chest to his men, ensuring the truth of their voyage remained hidden from the crown. In these pages, a stunning revelation emerges. The supply ship did not remain in Angola. It accompanied Dias and his crew all the way to Mossel Bay, docking alongside its companions in this serene bay along the southern African coast. At Mossel Bay, the expedition's dynamics took a curious turn. Among Dias' crew were Africans who had joined the journey, acting as interpreters and cultural intermediaries. As they interacted with the locals, they learned of unsettling tales whispered among the coastal people. Accounts of giant fingers rising from the sea, pulling ships to their doom. These ominous stories were dismissed by the crew as mere folklore, the product of overactive imaginations and the superstitions of seafarers. Determined to continue their mission, Dias resolved to press eastward, aiming to follow the coastline in hopes of finding a route to India. But as the journey progressed, strange occurrences began to plague the fleet. Something, or someone, seemed to be following them, just beneath the surface of the water. Every few hours, the sailors reported sensations of the ships being struck from below. The vessels rocked, their stability momentarily compromised. Fear began to grip the crew, who increasingly begged to return to land. When they reached Kwaaihoek, on January 12, 1488, Dias ordered the ships to anchor. Here, they erected a padrão, a stone marker bearing the Portuguese coat of arms, a testament to their progress and Portugal's ambitions. He reassured his crew that they would rest overnight and set sail anew the next day, hoping that the strange disturbances would cease. True to his word, on January 13, 1488, they resumed their journey with renewed determination. The new day dawned with calm seas and favorable winds. The fleet resumed its journey with renewed hope. But hope soon gave way to terror. The wind shifted abruptly, forcing the ships westward. Then, without warning, the crew bore witness to the stuff of nightmares. The supply ship, their lifeline, was under attack. Massive tentacles, glistening and wet, emerged from the depths. They coiled around the ship with terrifying precision, crushing its hull and shaking its structure violently. The mast remained intact during this attack, but the vessel bore the weight of the creature's immense power. The men aboard the supply ship fought valiantly, their swords and axes slashing at the monstrous appendages. Despite their bravery, many succumbed to the beast's power. For those who survived, it was only because their strikes managed to wound the creature, sending it retreating into the abyss. The fleet regrouped and fled back to Mossel Bay. Upon inspection, the supply ship was a wreck. Its hull was cracked, and its structure bore the marks of the violent encounter. The crew unloaded the supplies and prepared for an extraordinary countermeasure. Dias, ever the strategist, ordered the crafting of 2 massive fish hooks. Every length of rope they could muster was tied to these hooks, each rope stretching an incredible 600 meters. The hooks were tied to the ship, and the other end of the ropes was anchored securely to the base of a sturdy tree. A tree that would one day come to be known as the post office tree. With the ship stripped of its crew, they waited for the wind to carry it southward. The tension was palpable as the vessel drifted to the limits of its tether. Hours passed before the water erupted in chaos. The tentacles returned, wrapping around the ship, breaking its mast, and dragging it down. But this time, the hooks held fast. The beast was caught. The battle that followed was a test of endurance. As the rope strained and the tree bent under immense pressure, the crew rallied. Oxen, horses, and sheer human determination combined in an epic tug-of-war against the sea's unknown predator. When at last the creature was dragged ashore, the men stood in awe. In his own words, preserved in the recently uncovered journal, a text now housed in Portugal's Maritime Museum and studied by leading historians, Dias described the creature with both awe and terror.
Never before have I seen such a creation of God or devil. This beast of the sea measured no less than 50 meters from tip to tail. A leviathan greater than any living thing upon this earth. Its arms, 8 in number, spanned 15 meters each and were as thick as the masts of our finest ships. The tentacles, 2 longer still, stretched 25 meters or more. Suction cups the size of cartwheels that could crush wood and bone alike. Its eyes, each as wide as a barrel, burned with a cold and calculated malice, as if it saw through the very soul of man. The creature's weight was beyond measure, though we guessed it at 4,000 kilograms or more. Its color was that of the stormy ocean, a mottled gray and blue, and its flesh bore scars of battles fought in the unseen depths. It took all of our strength and every beast and man upon our crew to bring it to shore, where it thrashed and roared like thunder before it succumbed. This creature, this monster, was beyond nature's laws and a sign of the unknown perils that lie in wait for those who dare to venture too far.
These words, though spoken through the lens of fear and survival, offer a window into the mind of a man who had faced what no sailor before him had dared to imagine. The post office tree, now leaning towards the ocean, bore the scars of this extraordinary event. Dias, shaken by the ordeal, made a vow. This tale, he decided, would never reach the King of Portugal. Instead, the tree would serve as a symbol of survival and resilience, a place for sailors to leave messages for future voyages. Thus, the post office tree earned its name and its place in history. And so, the story of Bartolomeu Dias and his journey to the edge of the world took on a mythical dimension, blending the known and the unknown into a legacy that endures to this day. As historians and adventurers ponder the truth of these events, one thing remains certain: the seas hold secrets that may never be fully revealed.